And welcome into the Marvin F. Wilson Stadium at Prince George's Sports and Learning Complex. We are here with DeMatha football. It is week 4 for the Stags. The 2-1 Stags taking on the 2-1 Friendship Collegiate Academy Knights. I'm Corey Puffett, joined by Stephen McDonald, a senior at DeMatha.
Hi, Mr. Puffett. How are you today?
I'm doing fantastic. How are you doing, Stephen?
Oh, it's a good day when football is on.
Oh, it absolutely is. I'm really excited to have you in the booth with me today. Trying to get our booth camera working, but it doesn't seem to want to connect. We'll see if we can get that going a little bit later. But just got through the national anthem and just about ready for football. Coach McGregor down there meeting with the guys one last time before kickoff, and we're going to get some action here. Stephen, what should we be looking for today for our Stags?
Well, if we want to win, you know.
And we do.
We do. I would hope so. But our defense is fine. They can go on vacation to Hawaii and play virtually if they want, and they're still going to be fine. But the problem is our offense is fine, but Denzel needs to have a solid game. If he throws an interception, that's a problem. Turnovers is the problem, especially up from the quarterback side. Running backs are fine. Tovani is good. Brendan Wyatt is good. Denzel just needs to have a somewhat solid game. He doesn't have to play great, just solid.
Well, and Denzel had a solid game last week against Benedictine in Ohio. He went 9 for 17, 123 yards, added a rush for 20 yards, and that touchdown pass to Christian Tate. Not a fantastic game, but a pretty solid game for him. Exactly what you said that DeMatha needs.
Yeah.
Christian Tate, speaking of, 6 catches for 101 yards and a touchdown, plus a punt return touchdown in that game against Benedictine. So he had a fantastic game, and yet somehow was outshone. He did not get player of the game. If you saw the graphic on Instagram, that went to Dante Lovett. But you know what? Dante absolutely deserved it. 6 tackles, an interception that he returned for a touchdown, plus a forced fumble as we are underway here at the Prince George's Sports Learning Complex, and what a tackle on the kickoff.
That was quite impressive. You can see the blocking there was okay. There was enough room, but DeMatha just got around it as the kick returner just got stuck.
So we're going to go ahead and pull up our offensive starters real quick. You can see them on your screen. We got our defense on the field first, so we're going to put the defensive starters up on the screen. You can see Jason Moore, Emmett Laws, Elijah Yarborough, and Cortez Harris up front. Dante Jackson, the Stag, and Luke Hackett and Christopher Kofi at the linebacker position. And then in the defensive secondary, got DeAndre Ricks, Robert Stevens III, Tawfiq Byard, and Dante Lovett.
You know, Luke Hackett has played great this year, I think. I think he's going to have a great game today. And both the safeties, both Robert Stevens and Tawfiq, are both great. They have college offers, and they should be great today. There's a good screen there on the right.
Yep, just a quick little pass out to number 17. That was DeAndre Wooden, the junior wide receiver for the Knights.
The quarterback there for Friendship Collegiate, Jalen Krosky, should have waited a little bit longer to throw that pass. Could have let everyone come into the backfield and would have had a clear lane for his receiver there.
Yeah, absolutely what you want to do on those little screen passes. You want to bait the defense in, and he had plenty of time to wait. But a couple of yards there is we're going to have about a 2nd and 7, officially 2nd and 6 on the scoreboard for the Knights. Back to pass, looking over the middle, and he's got his – did he have his man? No, it's incomplete.
Dropped. You can't throw behind the receiver.
Yeah, a little bit behind Wooden there. Wooden tried to haul it in. I kind of lost track of the football there for a second, and then all of a sudden there it is bouncing away.
That would have been an easy play for at least 15 yards if he had thrown it just a foot in front of him.
No, it was a great slant route by Wooden. Really found a little bit of a gap in the secondary. Caught DeAndre Ricks trailing him slightly, but we'll do it again. 3rd down. 6 yards to go. Dropping back to pass. He's got his man, number 4, falls to the ground as Dante West just couldn't keep his feet on that little wheel route out of the backfield. He would have had the 1st down, but instead it's going to be 4th down and 1.
Yeah.
And in this field position, what do you think?
Well, you should just go for – I'd try to block it. Just send as many men as you can. Leave one back. If you get only a 3-yard return, you get a 3-yard return. But you never know. You might get 6 points on this.
Well, Keon Webb-Starkey is the man back to punt away from the Knights. And no surprise there after the punt return touchdown last week. Christian Tate back deep to return for the Stags. The snap. Punt is away.
Oh, that's
not a bad punt at all, but Christian Tate's going to catch it on the
yeah,
run, make a few man miss. Christian Tate's got space. Is he going to take it all the way? Only one man to beat, and Christian Tate into the end zone.
You know, perfect blocking by the Stags, and he also was able to read the field perfectly, knowing the right side was the place to go, and just puts on the Jets and scores a touchdown.
The last man to beat was Deandre Wooden, the man who caught the first pass for 4 yards and then just couldn't quite haul in the pass behind him on second down for the Knights. But Christian Tate put on the afterburners. Nobody was going to catch him.
No.
Had a punt return touchdown last week. He's struck again. 6-0 Stags.
It's poetry in motion watching that. A good punt return is almost better than watching anything in football.
Number 38, Jackson Peterson, on for the Stags to kick the PAT.
All right.
A little bit of a low snap,
low snap,
but he puts it up and over the crossbar. That PAT is good for the Stags. Make it 7-0 DeMatha.
That was a great hold by Noah Vitko for a bad snap.
And what a great drive.
Yeah, that was a quick run. 1 minute and 14 seconds into the game with a 7-0 lead. You can't complain.
No, you absolutely cannot.
Here's the kickoff by the Stags.
Jackson Peterson will take the ball from the official and get the Stags set to kick it back off, and we'll see Friendship Collegiate's offense once again.
Looks like Krosky, the quarterback for Friendship Collegiate, is ready to return. They certainly need to be able to read the field better on this one if they want a shot at their next drive.
Peterson kicks it off a low squib kick that is bouncing around but not anywhere close to out of bounds, so this will be returned.
Oh, that's a great broken tackle.
Yeah, and he's fighting for some extra yardage. Number 6, Quran Abdul-Rahim, with a really nice return for the Knights, and that'll set them up in pretty good field position past the 30-yard line.
Originally that was good blocking for the first line, but if it were my opinion, I would have just let it go in the end zone. You never know how a ball is going to bounce. It might go out of bounds. You might be on the 40-yard line.
Yeah, I mean, he was inside the numbers, so you figure it's probably not going out of bounds, and he felt like he had a clean pickup. So,
Yeah.
And again, they got a nice setup block at the front line. He just kind of outran everybody and wound up running right into DeMatha's coverage team at that point. So Jalen Krosky will do it again. They had some nice plays in the last drive, just a couple of mistakes. Bad throw behind the receiver. Oh, that was somebody left the line way early, or maybe the center just didn't snap the ball when he was supposed to. But it's going to wind up being a false start on the field.
False start, everyone but the center.
Exactly.
Everyone but the center.
So that'll set the Knights back 5 yards. Try 1st and 15.
It's always entertaining to see that. You just see, a big wall moving towards the quarterback, and the center is just completely stationary.
Well, you see the wide receiver get 5 yards off the line of scrimmage, and the quarterback still has not gotten the snap in the shotgun. I'm like, how slow is the ball moving?
Yeah. That must be
are we doing change-up snaps now?
Yeah. The weighted ball.
Jalen Krosky in the shotgun. Better snap this time. It's a designed run for Krosky, and he picks up about 7 yards, maybe 8.
Yeah. That was a good hit, though. By, it appears to be number 10 for DeMatha.
Yep, that's Luke Hackett.
Luke Hackett, yeah.
Yep, the Stags linebacker. And looks like we've got a timeout on the field. DeMatha calls it. So they'll have 2 left for the first half, and the clock is still running.
Yeah. I don't know. That's a different clock.
That's the timeout clock. There we go. Okay. Cleared that up. So some pretty nice play design so far for Friendship Collegiate.
Yeah.
You know, the plays have not been an issue. It's just been the execution so far. What do you think the Stags need to do to try and counter the really good play calling we're seeing from the Knights?
Well, I think first, they're doing fine on execution on defense. They just let the mistakes happen for the offense. The offense, we've seen so far, Friendship Collegiate's going to make mistakes. Capitalize on those mistakes. Capitalization is probably the key to football. If you can capitalize, if you can take what's given to you, then you'll be perfectly fine.
Well, we'll hope that they keep making mistakes because that definitely has seemed to help DeMatha so far. We'll have a 2nd down and 7 as we come back from the timeout. Jalen Krosky back, 4 wide receiver set this time. Sends the running back out to the side, but he's looking deep to Wooden, and he's got his man on a nice corner route. Deandre Wooden past the 50-yard line.
When you first watch that play, you're confused. Krosky is a right-handed quarterback. Throwing to your left is very hard. It's an awkward throw, and that was actually a great run, and just perfect placement in the ball for a hard throw to make.
Well, he found a nice hole in the secondary and gave his quarterback a big target area to throw the ball into, so it didn't have to be laser accurate.
Yeah.
Back, he's going to pitch it back to his running back, number 21. There's a flag on the play, and the ball is out.
Who's got
and
it?
Somebody is returning it. I can't see the number. I think it might be 52. Is that Emmett Laws?
I think that's Emmett Laws.
No, I think that might have been Elijah Yarborough. Number 52 is Elijah Yarborough. We're going to have to see what the laundry is on the field because we do have a yellow flag.
Let's see. Flat on DeMatha.
We'll see if this play stands. This could be another touchdown for the Stags. It all depends on what the call on the field is. It was in the area of holding.
Yeah, that play's going back.
But the fact that the officials are bringing the ball back, which suggests that this might be on the DeMatha defense. Tawfiq Byer gesturing and oh, no. So it was a penalty on Friendship Collegiate. Wow. The refs pulled a little switcheroo on us, had us confused. But, yes, it was a penalty on Friendship Collegiate, likely a holding call. And the penalties declined, of course, by DeMatha. 6 points. Elijah Yarborough with the touchdown.
And there's that capitalization, you take it, you take your chances, and you juice as much as you can out of them. It's 14-0, or well, 13, about to be 14-0. But the Stags offense have not touched the ball. The official stats for Denzel, 0 for 0, 0 yards.
But you know what? The Stags are about to be up 14-0 as Peterson's kick slashes through the uprights and good. Less than a minute on that drive.
Yeah. I mean, a minute. Just what a great drive there. Another kickoff for the Stags.
Yep, they'll meet up real quick. You know, everything that the kickoff team has done so far has worked out because it's set up Friendship Collegiate in a position where they're giving up defensive and special teams touchdowns.
Yeah.
Can't complain about that. So we still have not gotten a chance to show you guys the offensive starters for DeMatha. We'll hopefully get a chance to do that at some point in this game.
We made that graphic all for nothing.
For all we know, if this keeps going the way it is, by the time that we actually get the ball on offense, some of those projected starters might not actually need to play after all.
Let's find the freshman team soon. That's a not a squib kick, better kick.
Yeah, very good kick, almost back to the end zone. It's returned from the goal line.
That's a hard hit.
What a hit.
That looks like Vincent Nicholson.
Some people are looking for a flag, but honestly, I think that was just kind of an awkward situation that they found themselves in. And, Karan tried to cut back at the last second to avoid the hit. And at that point, there's nothing the defender can do to get out of the way. And not to mention, you don't really want to get out of the way. You're trying to make a tackle.
So and that was just it's great to see, the collision almost, at least for a spectator sport. And that was just a great play. I mean, kickoff coverage for DeMatha has been great so far. I mean, there was one little mistake on the last one, making them at the 30-yard line, but 12-yard line and 19-yard line, that's great.
Back to pass is Krosky looking out to the side.
Oh,
and
what a move.
His man bounces off the tackler. That's number 4, Dante West, with a really nice catch, bounce off the tackle, and run down the sideline.
You know, that was a smart play design, too. Just quick, get it off, and let your running back do the work.
Takes it just past the 40-yard line. They'll set up at the 41 with 1st and 10. Robert Stevens back deep in the defensive secondary for the Stags. Dante Lovett, the corner out wide at the bottom of your screen, as Krosky comes back out to the left, passes it off. It's a good dump-off pass, takes it past the 45 to about the 48-yard line. That was number 5, Steve Frazier. That was number 8, Keon Webb-Starkey.
You could see the big for Jalen Krosky. You could see on his right side there was a big corner blitz coming, almost like a tsunami. So it was, it worked out perfectly for them, and their play design was to the left.
Yep, it absolutely did. Kept him out of danger, gave him some time to get the pass off, and that was about a 5 or 6 yard gain for the Knights. Krosky brings Keon Webb-Starkey in motion. So a little bit of a trips formation at the bottom of your screen as he's looking that way, and a nice job to bat that ball at the line of scrimmage. I have to wait to see who that was because he's turned to the side. But that was a really nice play.
That was a great heads-up play.
He's still not turning around for me. Number 20, it looks like. That would be Dante Jackson.
Defense has just played great so far. It's 3rd down. It's been 3 drives, and they've made sure it sounds weird, but the offense hasn't had to touch the ball, but they're still up 14-0.
Yep, so Dante Jackson, he's the Stag on DeMatha's defense. We'll talk a little more about him later on in the game as that pass goes a little bit wide. He had his man and probably a 1st down, but instead it's going to be 4th down and a short 5 for the Knights. In this field position, you probably still need to punt, even down 14-0 early.
That was another great play design, just a quick out route. Just bad move by bad throw by Jalen Krosky there.
So after returning a punt to the house earlier in this game, Christian Tate back on the field for the Stags, ready to do it again.
Now would be the time to punt out of bounds if you're Friendship Collegiate.
That might be a wise decision, Stephen. See what they decide to do as we have got the snap, and it's a very low snap. Skips into the punter's hands, and there's another line drive punt.
Yeah.
This time he had to catch it on the
there's a flag
as he cut back, but there's a flag on the field.
It's probably a legal block in the back, or
it is. They are signaling it is going to be on DeMatha, so they're going to be set up well inside their 20-yard line, probably back near their 10.
Yeah. Let's see.
Let's get the official call from the referee down there.
Little conference going on now.
Holding on the Stags. So that will back them up close to the 10-yard line. They're going to put it on the – looks like they're going to spot it on the 12-yard line. But, I mean, that's what you really need to do there with Christian Tate is you got to get him on the back pedal. If you're going to be a line drive kicker and not have a lot of hang time and not give your gunners time to get down the field, you really want him on the back pedal so at least he then has to try and switch direction, and that may give your coverage unit just a little more time to close, and that's just what happened there. And then Friendship also benefits. So we will come to our offensive stars just a second after this play because we've got the Stags ready to go. Denzel Gardner in the shotgun. He's going to hand it off to Tovani Mizell, who's getting the start today. And he'll lunge forward for a short gain just past the 15-yard line, or maybe right to it. And we'll go ahead and bring our offensive starters up. And go ahead and put the offensive starters on screen as we've got Denzel. Our offensive line is Tosin Babalade, Cameron Fry, Brandon Smith, Nathaniel Hampton, and Michael Krauts. And then our skill position players, Bud Coombs, Riley Ferran, and Christian Tate, Gerald Campbell, and Cody Williams are out wide for the Stags. Tovani Micel finds a little bit of a seam down the sideline, but there is a flag on the play. What'd you see, Steven?
That was a good play there. Flag was probably holding, but that was just good vision by Tovani. Get to the outside.
Absolutely, and it looks like it is going to be holding on the Stags, so that's going to back them up again, and it'll be we'll replay second down, and it'll be second and about 13, maybe 14 yards. They are bringing it back a little bit further than they initially indicated. So yes, it will be second down and 16 to go.
Yeah. At the 6 now.
So Denzel Gardner almost in his own end zone here as he gets set to take this snap. 3 wide receivers, a tight end lined up.
Oh, you've got to throw.
Yep, he's looking for his man. That is number 32. Is that right?
That's Vitko, yeah.
Yeah, so Noah Vitko was lined up there at tight end and gets just a very short gain, yard or two, nothing more than that.
I think that ball should have been out much faster.
Yeah, the defense was not biting in on that, so you got to get the ball in his hand so he has some time to try and cut up field.
Yeah, and he had a lane originally, but as soon as Denzel looked at him and then sort of hesitated to throw, that's just not good.
Denzel. Mizell lined up to his right as Gardner
safety.
Needs to get out of there, and he does. He's got a running lane as he got a first down. He's very close. He's right there. The official is standing just in front, but I think it may actually be marked just short by about a yard, maybe a half a yard. It's a little bit tough at this angle to see, and so it looks like the Stags are going to go ahead and send number 38, Jackson Peterson, back out to punt this one away. It's a short yardage situation, but backed up this far, and with so much momentum on your side, you're up 14-0 here. Still, not even halfway through the first quarter. You really don't want to give a big play and put them in, within the 20-yard line. That would really be crushing.
High punt.
Really nice punt.
Oh, there should be.
Really nice punt by Peterson. Forced number 6, Karan Abdul-Rahim, to call for a fair catch. He might have had a little bit of room to run, but with that, a returner is usually going to have a little bit of an internal clock because they can't look at what's coming at them. You're looking up at the ball, and when that clock goes off, I need to call for a fair catch.
And that was also a smart play there as well. If there was an illegal block in the back just before he called for the fair catch. If whatever happens, if he catches, even if he returns it for the touchdown, that's coming back.
Yeah.
So that was a smart play. You stay in the same spot, about the 29-yard line.
Yeah. So the flag is still enforced, so they are going to back them up inside of their own 30-yard line, and we'll see what the Knights come out with here. Again, they've had a few really nice plays on their last couple of drives, but it's been a struggle for them to get anything consistent. They just can't seem to get things rolling and get any sort of momentum within a drive. So Krosky back, hands it off right up the gut. Not a lot of running room, but I believe that was number 21 again, Raynard Duggar Jr., kind of a small back, but that can allow him to squeeze between some of those offensive and defensive linemen. So he picked up about 2 yards.
I kind of feel bad for him there because number 56, the right tackle for Friendship Collegiate, Freddie Simmons III, he had a great block. If he had kept going just a little bit, that would have been great to see. Shotgun again. We have not seen a play other than a shotgun today from Friendship Collegiate.
And Krosky is tossing it out to his left. Some good running room up the middle-ish of the field, and I think that was Keon Webb-Starkey, number 8, on the catch, and he's going to be right at the first down marker, and they're going to give it to him.
Again, another good play call. They're just getting good play after good play. I would have waited a little bit longer if I was Jalen Krosky, but that was still very good. No.
So first down here for Friendship Collegiate. Starkey, empty backfield, 3 receivers to the bottom of your screen as he is going to run out to the sideline, and DeMatha with some great coverage there. That was number 11 for the Stags, Nathaniel Owusu, who was closing in on him. The last time that we broadcast a game 2 weeks ago, Nathaniel Owusu was the starter at DeMatha Stag position. So you're going to see him and number 20, Dante Jackson, going back and forth at that spot tonight. DeMatha Stag is basically their guy who's a little bit of everything.
Yeah.
He'll line up at
Bill Walsh's elephant position that Charles Haley was.
Exactly. You know, you'll see him in the linebacker position. You'll see him as an edge rusher from time to time. You might even see him in the defensive secondary lined up. He can do a little bit of everything. As Krosky back, looking deep over the middle of the field. He's got a man.
That's intercepted.
And it's picked off.
That is intercepted.
He is picked off. Jeremiah Barnes Jr. was the intended receiver, but Dante Lovett came down with it.
That was just great vision by Dante Lovett. That shouldn't have been an interception.
I don't know how he got that. I mean, the position of the receiver, Jeremiah Barnes, really was blocking off Lovett's access to the ball. All Lovett should have been able to do there is stick a hand through and knock it to the ground at best.
Yeah.
Honestly, that could have been reception. Barnes had position, but Lovett with an amazingly athletic play to come down with the ball.
That was an athletic feat there. As DeMatha has just been, their defense, it's been great today so far.
So it works out to be a long punt as DeMatha's offense retakes the field. Denzel Garner in the shotgun, 2 receivers to the bottom of your screen, and he is looking over the middle of the field. He's got a man a little bit behind Cody Williams, I believe. Yep, number 12, Cody Williams, the target. He probably could have had a long run out to the catch if the ball was placed a little bit in front of him, but as it is a first down for the Stags.
And I wouldn't have thrown it there. Gerald Campbell was wide open along the left side.
So Stags quickly to the line. We didn't see a whole lot of the hurry up 2 weeks ago, the last time we were here on DM Stags TV, but a little bit of hurry up here as a hole opens up in the middle. Just couldn't quite keep his feet. That was number 22, Bud Coombs.
No, I think that was Tovani.
No, it was Coombs.
Oh, okay.
Yep. Yep, picked up about 4 yards there. We'll have second down and 6. Denzel fakes the handoff.
Oh, no,
rolling
Gerald
out.
Campbell.
And he's got Cody Williams again in the middle of the field, and Williams will haul it in for a first down past midfield.
Gerald Campbell again, wide open on the hitch route. He's running it perfectly. You can't really do anything once you finish your route other than just stand there. But
yeah, Campbell looks a little bit frustrated down there, but you keep running those routes. Eventually, he's going to look your way and get it to you. It's always tough. High school football, quarterbacks, their first read oftentimes is not the guy who's lined up out on the numbers.
Yeah.
You really are looking over the middle of the field most of the time. But eventually, you just keep running those routes, he's going to find you. Shotgun formation again. Hands it off. It's Coombs. He's got a running lane, and he's got space. Does he have the angle? Not quite enough to get to the goal line, but he'll carry it down inside the 10.
That was a very good play. Very good blocking by the Stags offensive line, and the explosiveness of Coombs it almost took him to the end zone.
Terrific run, terrific vision, and great blocking up front by the left side of that offensive line. Tosin, Cameron Fry really opened up a hole for him.
Just a bulldozer. It was like they're demolishing a construction site. It was poetry in motion.
So Stags again pretty quickly to the line. Snap wasn't super clean, but got it down to Coombs. He's going to be taken down right around the line of scrimmage, though. Might have even lost half a yard.
Yeah.
Looks like the official's just going to go ahead and spot it right back on the line of scrimmage. So it'll be second down and second down 11. I thought he might have lost a yard.
Now is the time to run a play action pass. Everyone is expecting it on third down, but now is the time.
No play action this time for you, Steven, as
Bro,
he was looking for Gerald Campbell on the fade, but Campbell didn't run it all the way out to the pylon. The ball set a little far out of bounds anyway. Probably wouldn't have had a chance at a completion. So we'll have 3rd down and 11 now from the 13-yard line.
Now you would really want, in my opinion, I would throw a play-action screen here. Give the tight end a little bubble screen, and he can easily make it in.
And here we go. Denzel back to pass, rolling out. Does he have a lane all the way to the end zone? Puts down a move, and it bulldozes his way forward.
Push.
Is he going to get in? It looks like they're marking him just short of the end zone, just short.
That was great vision by Denzel. He realized there are no passing lanes open, just takes it and runs, and he's like Roger Cray. His legs never stopped moving. He was always in constant motion going forward.
The good news for the Stags, they had space to get that first down even without getting in, so they got the first down. They're going to QB sneak it looks like. I think Denzel kept it.
Yeah.
And took it into the end zone for the Stags.
This is a master class of football that we are watching.
Special teams, defense, and offense. Scores in all 3 facets of the game already for the Stags, and we aren't even done with the first quarter here, Stephen.
We haven't gotten through 10 minutes of the first quarter.
So Jackson Peterson holds, Toffee Byard holds. Jackson Peterson puts it through the uprights, and it's 21-0 Stags.
I mean, I just can't believe what I'm seeing. This is just, I can believe it, and then yet again, it's just so impressive to see this.
No, absolutely. I mean, that was a really nice offensive drive for the Stags after their previous drive just kind of stalled out. Denzel is making pretty good decisions so far. Is he super accurate so far tonight? Not really. But the decision-making has been, I can't complain about it. I know that, there have been a couple times that Joe Campbell's been wide open and maybe he could have gotten it to him. But he's still finding open men. It's not like he's forcing it into coverage trying to feed Cody Williams over the middle of the field. He also had that, and he took it. So really good offensive production so far for the Stags, especially on that last drive.
And another good thing is he's doing what he needs to do. He's not trying to do everything. It looks like he's realized at this point that he has a team around him and he doesn't have to do everything himself.
So just like that, here we go, kicking off once again to the Knights. Deep return from inside the 5-yard line, and he's got some space, keeps his feet, and the ball is out. Who's got it at the bottom of the pile? It looks like Friendship. Friendship retains possession there. That was, I believe, Karan Abdul-Rahim on the return again for the Knights, and they will set up shop right around the 25-yard line.
It looks like Friendship needs a new equipment guy. They just keep fumbling. I mean, is there something wrong with their gloves? The gloves they're sticky. They're not.
They're supposed to be.
Well, yeah.
They're supposed to be.
So.
Theirs may not be.
Yeah. They might need some stickum or something.
The snap, handoff, and the Stags are right there to stand up Raynard Duggar Jr. He does not get anything. They gave him a yard, I believe, on the play, and that's it.
Great job by all the Stags not buying that. Could have been a great option run for Jalen Grosky, but they did not buy it at all. The linebackers just did a perfect job.
Just a great gang tackle. No way that I could call out any one of them because that was a team effort. That was an all-11 guy sort of tackle. So on the defensive line, closest to the camera, we've got Elijah Yarborough. A lot of times he'll line up in the middle, but this time on the edge. As the handoff is right up the gut, Duggar Jr. picks up maybe another 5 yards, and we'll call it 3rd and 4.
Yeah. That was quite an impressive run. There was nothing there. He sort of dives and slithers his way for 5 yards. It's quite impressive.
Yeah, I mean, when you go that low to the ground, you know that you're not going to pick up 10 yards because you're going to fall eventually. But he's doing a pretty good job of keeping his feet long enough to pick up 4 or 5 yards a pop. And if they can keep that going, then they can get first downs. Doesn't look they're going to try to keep – well, no, actually, he is still in the backfield. He was a little hidden from my view behind the quarterback. But they're going to send him out on the wheel route. They're going to target him. He's got space. Great play call and past the 50-yard line. And correct me if I'm wrong, was that DeAndre Ricks, number 2 on the tackle? Well. Yeah, DeAndre Ricks was able to get out there to make the stop along the sideline, but not before a huge gain for the Knights up to the DeMatha 46-yard line.
Again, the play calling for Friendship Collegiate has just been on point today. Very good.
Shotgun snap to Krosky. He's going to roll out, this time to his right. And he has a man along the sideline, only going to pick up maybe 3 or 4 yards, but a nice play to Keon Webb-Starkey.
They like those sort of roll-out, throw-and-out, wheel sort of hybrid route plays. It's fascinating.
Well, and can you blame them? I mean, they're trying to keep it away from this all-star defensive line of the Stags. You know, I mean, we haven't even gotten a chance to call Jason Moore's name tonight. No. He's the #1 recruit in Maryland, already committed to Ohio State for next
the Ohio State.
To the Ohio State University. You know, we haven't gotten a chance to call his name because I think they're just kind of playing keep away from him.
Yeah.
Moore currently lined up along the defensive line closest to the top of your screen.
Oh, that's
the snap, the handoff, and this time we'll go ahead and call it Jason Moore's name there as he was in on the tackle, taking down Rainer Duggar Jr.
Chris Kofi did a good job reading that play. Coming in from the outside, number 24.
Yeah, Kofi was right there.
Yeah.
It was a really good defensive play, and it looks like we've got it the end of the first quarter. That felt like a very long quarter.
Yeah.
Because it was. There was a lot of stoppages because of all the scoring and all of the changes of possession.
Yeah. 21-0.
21-0 Stags at the end of the first quarter. A really nice first quarter. Again, all 3 facets of the game getting involved. A punt return touchdown about 1 minute and 15 seconds into the game by Christian Tate. Then about 45 seconds later, a fumble return touchdown by Elijah Yarborough. And then at the 2:27 mark, that 1-yard QB sneak by Denzel Gardner. And there's your scoring.
Yeah, it's breathtaking, frankly. I mean, you can say whatever you want about Friendship's offense and the good play calling. And they're playing chess, but DeMatha's playing checkers. They can just – it's so much easier for them. It's a simpler game for DeMatha at this point.
You know, most people don't say it that way around. Most people say that you're playing checkers and the team that's playing chess is the one doing a better job. Yeah. But I like the way you're putting that, Stephen. Absolutely. So, teams switch sides of the field, and we have a 3rd and 5 for Friendship Collegiate as Jalen Krosky gets set in the shotgun. He's going to drop back.
Oh,
and the rush is coming. He just tosses it out, and he went up for it, but really good defense. It's hard to see from this far away, but I think that was number 4, Dante Lovett, on the defense. Lovett already has an interception in this game.
Krosky was just a fish out of water there. He couldn't do anything. The rush was just, again, a tsunami-like rush.
It looks like Friendship Collegiate is going to go for it here, Stephen. Do you like this call?
I do. I mean, they have to do something.
Yeah, I mean, you're down 14-0. You're in plus territory, and you've been picking up chunks of yardage when you execute your plays properly. And the play calling has been good. It's just a matter of whether they will execute this one properly. And there looks like a false start.
Yeah.
Number 6, Karan Abdul-Rahim, was almost 20 yards down the field, and his quarterback is looking at him like, dude, where are you going?
Well, so much for going for it.
Yep, that makes the decision a lot easier for Friendship Collegiate. They're going to go ahead and switch units and put the punt team on.
But, I would say if DeMatha scores on their next drive, go for 4th down every time.
Even when you're in a 4th and 10-plus situation.
It's like the points aren't going to come to you.
That's a great point. So Keon Webb-Starkey back to punt for the Knights. Christian Tate still out there as the Stags punt returner.
Stags should rush 10 here. Then go for a block. I mean, Tate is going to do what Tate is going to do.
Absolutely.
And, I mean, you're already up 21-0.
That's a little bit better snap. Put it on him. Another line drive, and this time it's going to bounce. And Tate is going to leave it alone wisely, but it takes a nice Friendship Collegiate roll inside the 10-yard line, and Denzel Gardner and the Stags offense is going to have to get started from deep in their own territory.
And, that was actually the perfect punt for that situation. I mean, if you can't put backspin on it, you might as well land it short and have it roll up.
Yeah.
Absolutely. It's just like in golf. He's 100 yards away. You might as well let it roll up if you can't spin it back.
Yep.
The pin's in the back.
So DeMatha's backup quarterbacks on their roster. They have John Brabazon and they have Luke O'Hare as backup quarterbacks. We'll see if and when either of them get any playing time. But for now, Denzel Gardner still out on the field for the Stags. I mean, it's still early second quarter. This 21-0 lead is not safe early in the second quarter, regardless of how the two teams have been playing so far. Gardner fakes the handoff and may have been knocked down at the line of scrimmage because that ball fell well short of his intended target. And the Stags will go second down and 10.
I mean, you can't do much when a ball is batted down. That just ends the play. But
nope, nothing you can do there. So it looked like he was looking for his fullback, Kareem Robinson, on that play, number 25 for the Stags. They'll line up again. One wide receiver to the bottom of your screen, two to the top. Gardner hands it off.
That was a great run.
That was a very good run. I couldn't see who that was.
I don't know. I don't think it's Bud because he's not wearing orange cleats.
No, that's a good way to remember. Yeah. But maybe they brought Tovani back in. Tovani hasn't played since the first drive.
That was a great run, though. Just as long as you have some minuscule forward momentum, you can keep going forward.
Absolutely. Trying to get a view of their numbers. It's a little bit tough from our vantage point. Got a whole 8-lane track and some long jump pits between us and the field. Another run up the middle, and that's going to put the Stags up right near the first down marker, but it looks like they're going to be marked just short.
Yeah.
And we'll have fourth down. Question is, what do you do in this? No, the official is waving the chains on.
Oh.
The official down at the sideline is waving them on, and it is going to be a first down for the Stags.
Very nice. They didn't even have to get the index card out to check.
Love the index card. Yeah. Got to have that index card.
It's probably a breath of fresh air for Coach McGregor not having to punt it away.
Yeah, I mean, in that situation, again, we talked about that earlier. We're in a fourth and very short situation, but backed up that far, you just can't take that risk and give any momentum over. That pass is wide of his intended target.
Trying to see if Denzel is wearing a glove on his right hand, because from what we've seen so far, it looks like he's gripping the ball too hard. He's either gripping it way too hard, or he's gripping it like it's a feather.
Yeah, you definitely want to be somewhere in between those two extremes. Denzel back again. Second down and 10 for the Stags. There was some motion, though, and I don't think that anybody came across the line on the defense, so that's probably going to end up being a false start. No, they do call encroachment. Okay, so somebody did come across and make contact, and I'll make it second down and 5 for the Stags.
That was very heads up by Denzel.
Yeah.
You could see he sort of jumps and stutters the defense across.
Yeah, you do have to be careful with that. I don't know what the rule is on the high school level, but in the NFL, you can't do that anymore. If you make a big gesticulation with your hands, that's a false start on the quarterback now. Handoff up the gut, and a lot of running room. The Stags coming up. That's Tovani Mizell, and a really nice open field play on the defense. I'm trying to see who that was for the Knights who made the play. That's number 6.
Man down for Friendship Collegiate. Looks like number 12.
Yeah,
Brandon Lemons.
Yeah, Brandon Lemons Jr. is down, but number 6, Karan Abdul-Rahim, made a really nice open field tackle to keep Tovani Mizell from continuing his scamper up the field. He had to cut back toward the sideline, and the Stags are going to wind up with a 1st and 10 at about the 32. But first, we got some trainers out on the field to check on Brandon Lemons.
Tylil Frazier.
Tylil Frazier, number 11, the sophomore linebacker for the Knights. So the Stags will huddle up a little bit while the trainers do what they need to do.
It looks like his left leg.
Yep.
They'll
check him out, and hopefully he's okay. He is up on his feet, and under his own power, it looks like he's going to be able to walk off the field. So definitely favoring that left ankle, something in that lower left leg, but it seems like he's reaching down toward his calf and his ankle area. Definitely looks like he's in some pain. He's going to get a little bit of help finishing his walk off the sideline, but hopefully he is okay.
Yeah.
Hopefully nothing serious. You never like to see any injuries.
No.
It's a contact sport. You're going to have them in football, but you never like to see it.
And it's a new play for the Stags.
Yep, and a new set of downs as well, as Gardner is going to get set to take this snap. 2 wide receivers to the bottom of your screen. Officials start the play clock and the game clock. And Denzel is just going to go ahead and give this up. That's a new running back on the field. It might have been Joshua Jefferson, number 26, if I caught that right.
That's who it looked like.
Yep, and then Tovani's now coming back onto the field. And no, it looked like that was number 22.
Yeah,
so Bud Coombs with the carry there. And Tovani checks back into the game for the Stags. Gerald Campbell split out wide at the bottom of your screen as the Stags wait for the play call.
Campbell, in my opinion, deserves route runner of the day.
So far, at least, can't really say an unsung hero because he hasn't, had any catches yet. But that's not his own fault. He has definitely found some open spaces in the defense. This time out there as a blocker, as Tovani Mizell takes this up the gut and picks up an additional 7 yards or so. It's going to be 3rd down, and we'll call it 2, maybe 3 yards. First quarter stats for DeMatha from our video broadcast journalism students. We got 37 passing yards on 3 pass completions for 4 attempts, 69 rushing yards on 7 attempts, and 4 first downs for the Stags. Only 1 tackle for a loss for the Knights on defense. So really good production by the Stags in that first quarter as Mizell takes this carry up the gut. He's going to be a little bit short as that was a really nice stop up front. Karan Parrott, number 9, was in on the tackle. There was somebody else in there. I didn't catch his number, though.
If you were to look at this stat sheet for the Stags, without looking at the scoreboard, this would be almost depressing numbers.
Well, I mean, the 69 rushing yards is pretty good.
Well,
I think that offsets the passing yards a little bit for a first quarter, but you would not be expecting to look up at the scoreboard and see 21-0.
No. It might be
you'd be hoping that the bulk of that came on one long touchdown drive and that at least they have a score on the board. But no, the Stags have done a great job. As we suspected, that ball was about a yard short of the first down, maybe a little bit less than a yard, but the Stags are going to go ahead and punt this away from their own 41-yard line. Peterson gets it off. It's going to take a bounce and a little bit of kind of a neutral bounce there as it just kind of bounced straight up and down right around the 31-yard line, and that is where Friendship Collegiate will start their next drive.
Yeah. Now, Friendship Collegiate, they have to do something here. Now is the time.
Yeah, 7:43 to go in the first half, and you're down 21-0. And you've had a lot to like about each of your drives. Every drive pretty much has had at least one chunk yardage play that you can look back and say that was successful.
Yeah, you've just got to capitalize on it.
Yeah, they haven't been able to string any of them together. They've had a couple of drives, or maybe they've been able to string 2 or 3 of them together, but nothing that's been sustained. And it's eventually just it's going to get kind of depressing for them. That pass over the middle.
Yeah.
Go ahead and take that one, Steven.
That was a great. First of all, it was a great slant route, and number 2, that window of opportunity for the throw. He put the thread through the eye of the needle.
There was not a lot of space between the defensive, between the secondary there, as he just found Keon Webb-Starkey for a nice gain and a first down to the 42-yard line.
And great spiral too. That was put that right on point.
No, put it right where it needed to be. Split the defenders, and he caught it on the run, so he was able to turn upfield and pick up some extra yardage.
Yeah. It was like he was playing darts there almost.
Handoff.
Yeah, that's
and
nowhere.
Nothing there, as that was Jason Moore who
yeah.
takes him down, baby. It looks like they're going to give him forward progress, only a half a yard back. But, man, that was quite a tackle.
Yeah.
Jason Moore, again, committed to The Ohio State University.
And the Big Ten better get ready in a few years.
Oh, yeah. No, I mean, he's going to be special over there. I mean, we would love to be seeing him playing on Sundays in a few years.
Oh, yeah, I hope so.
We love watching our Stags on Sundays. And we're going to get a timeout, and I think this is going to be called by Friendship Collegiate. Jalen Krosky is the only one jogging over to the sideline.
No,
and he's coming off the field.
Number 12.
And Nicholas Washington, the senior quarterback, is now coming in for him. So I don't know. That almost looked like the officials told him he had to go off the field. Maybe his helmet came off on a play. I don't know. But that play went nowhere as the Stags knew that they were going to be handing it off with the backup quarterback in, and there was nothing there for Duggar.
If that was designed, that certainly didn't work well. I mean, and of course you can't do anything else in that situation. You can't waste any more time. So.
And Krosky right back in on the field, so maybe he did lose his helmet on the last play. Something clearly happened that he had to go to the sideline to address.
It's an equipment issue.
But an equipment issue more likely than an injury issue, as he is back out there at quarterback for Friendship Collegiate in the shotgun. 2 receivers to the bombing screen, 2 to the top. It's third and very long, 16 yards to go for the Knights.
Might as well be a mile at this point.
Yeah, and they're going to hand it off. A little bit of running room, but the Stags, they played that a little bit softly because they could.
Got about 8 yards.
Yeah, he picked up good yardage, about half of what he needed. It's going to be 4th down and 8, as I believe that was number 10, Luke Hackett, on the tackle.
Hackett is just playing great.
Oh, yeah, no, he's been sniffing out the ball wherever he's lined up. Like right now, it looks like he's going to line up on the edge rather than in a standard linebacker position.
Yeah.
But he's done that and been able to get to the ball on the other side of the formation on a few plays today.
I do not like that Friendship Collegiate's going for the punt. I mean, it might be a fake. I mean, but at this point.
Yeah, I mean, you said earlier, at this point, to be fair, DeMatha didn't score again.
Yeah.
But still, you did say earlier, at this point in the game, they probably need to just continue going forward on 4th down.
He's talking a lot, so no, just a.
Yeah, maybe they were trying to make it a shorter situation, but instead that's going to bounce and take a nice Knights bounce all the way down to the 15, and in fact just inside the 15-yard line is where the Stags will set up 1st and 10 with just over 4 minutes to go in the first half.
I mean, I would have gone at least for a fake there or something. I mean, it's just you're running out of time. I mean, I know we're not.
There's still a whole half to go, but I take your point. I mean, the way this has been going, you really need to try and the iron has not been hot for you to strike.
Yes.
So you got to strike while the iron is lukewarm.
Yes, at least. I mean, try something, anything. Let's see, is Denzel still in the game?
Yes, Denzel Gardner still in at quarterback for the Stags. 2 receivers set to the bottom of your screen. A little bit of a big formation for the Stags. There's a quick throw, and this is the first completion to Christian Tate of the day. But there is a flag on the play, and it looked like it was coming from the area of holding.
Yeah. Good quick route there.
Yeah, good quick route. A little bit disappointing that's going to come off of the tally for Christian.
Yeah.
He'd like to get involved on offense. He's already been very involved in special teams. Again, had that punt return touchdown less than a minute and a half into the game. That kicked off the scoring here tonight as the Stags are backed up inside their own 5-yard line, it looks like.
But those plays like that, those are like free samples at a grocery store. Like, those cheese platters they'll have. I mean, they're there for the taking. It might not be, a whole block of cheese, but you can get, little bits and pieces, and sooner or later you have enough of them, you'll get your block of cheese, so to speak.
Yeah. Now, I thought that should have been a half the distance to the goal line rather than a 10-yard penalty, but they set him back 10 yards, back at about the 2 or 3 yard line.
Yeah.
Not a whole lot on that run play for the Stags.
I think that's
maybe just past the 5 yard line is where they're going to spot it.
Yeah.
So, give them 2 or 3 yards.
Yeah, I still think that was a half the distance to the goal. They're within.
Yeah,
I mean, 20 yards.
Yeah, when you're within 20 yards, a 10-yard penalty becomes half the distance usually, but not that time.
Yeah, must be some officiating discrepancy going on.
Yep. Tavani checks back out. We already knew that we might not see Brendan Wyatt today. He's been dealing with a little bit of an injury. He was hoping he'd be good to go today. He had a really nice game last week. We'll talk about him later on, as that run is going to get DeMatha a little bit closer to the original line of scrimmage, but they're still about 4 or 5 yards back.
Yeah.
So last week against Benedictine, I believe – actually, I did not put down the yardage for in my notes, I guess, but I do remember looking at the play-by-play sheet and seeing that Brendan Wyatt had a few pretty nice runs for the Stags in that game. Can't recall the exact stats offhand. As that pass back to the sideline, honestly, I didn't even see Gerald Campbell over there because he was kind of blocked by everybody on the sideline, but couldn't quite get the connection. It was a good route, though. Again, I mean, you talked about Gerald Campbell's been running good routes, and right there he runs a little bit of a not even a hook route, but like a comeback route toward the sideline, right past the sticks, exactly where you're supposed to be.
And that was actually – it was a bad throw by Denzel, but it was great movement in the pocket. He showed awareness and poise, and he wasn't afraid.
Yeah, no, good awareness there. Just not quite on target as Peterson takes the low snap. A good job to haul that in. High punt, and that's going to take a DeMatha bounce. And he's going to go ahead and grab it.
Very good move.
You know, that's a little bit risky, and it actually is not going to work. I think he wound up losing yards, but there's a flag, and we'll have to see what that is. Is that going to be an unnecessary roughness, something on the tackle?
Like horse collar,
because I didn't see any blocking over there, so I don't think this is going to be against Friendship Collegiate.
Yeah.
But we'll wait and see what the official call is, as that might bail them out, because he actually lost some yards from where he picked it up after trying to spin out and make something out of that play.
It's like a couple years ago, it was the Raiders and the Broncos, and everyone was billing this as the last game in Oakland Coliseum. The ball rolls to the 1 yard line. No one touches it. Raiders return it for a touchdown. I mean, it was just like that, except it didn't work.
Yeah, but one of those things that you're not expecting at all. So a horse collar is the call on the field. That's going to be a 15-yard penalty and put Friendship Collegiate basically right at the 35-yard line.
Yeah. Now they need points. It's only 30. It's a shorter field now.
Krosky gives that one off. I think that was Duggar Jr. again taking the carry. He's been their running back on every play. Either not a lot of depth at the running back position or just he's their guy because he's out there on every play. Give him 3 yards on that run. Make it 2nd and 7 here for the Knights. 2 receivers at the bottom of your screen. 2 split out wide to the top. Krosky back to pass, looking deep, but he's a little overthrown on that throw. He had Christian Heatley, the senior wide receiver, on the route, but way out in front. There's no chance to catch up to it.
I mean, that was the route to throw. That's where you've got to throw it. But now 2nd and 7. What Friendship Collegiate, they need to get one of those free sample plays. They need a quick, don't take time off the clock. Just get it done. Get 7 yards, and you'll be fine.
Yeah. No, that's exactly what they need. We're down under 2 minutes to go here in the first half. 3rd down and 7 now.
Ooh, low
back
snap.
to pass. Krosky looking out. He had a man. Again, it was Heatley who found just a little bit there were 3 defenders that he had found some space between.
Yeah.
But the ball sails out of bounds. Didn't give him a chance to get it. So now we've got a 4th down situation, and what do, Steven?
You got to go for it. I mean, you can't. I mean, how long of a field goal would this be? 50?
It'd be about basically 50 yards.
Yeah.
49 maybe officially.
I mean, you've got to have one big leg in high school, or, I mean, you've got to be drinking some insane type of milk to be able to kick a field goal from this distance.
Yeah, we don't typically see opposing kickers with the kind of leg that can hit that here at DeMatha. So it looks like this is going to be a timeout taken by the Stags. I think this was charged to DeMatha as they're going to think about how they want to cover this defensively, because it does look like the Knights are going to go for it, as they should in this situation. I mean, even if you don't convert it, you're still likely leaving DeMatha in their own side of the field with very little time left in the half to try and drive down the field.
Yeah, and you might as well, if you punt it, it's basically going to the 20.
Yeah.
Unless you have,
at best, maybe.
Yeah. And that would be some weird punt to have it awkwardly roll inside the 10. So.
Yeah, especially the way that their punter has been putting it in the air. I mean, it's all line drives, which means that once it bounces, it's more than likely going to continue going forward. Yeah. Krosky back to pass, and he was under some immense pressure as number 34 for the Stags. That is Cortez Harris.
Yeah.
Got a free run at the quarterback and didn't give that play a chance to develop at all for the Knights.
What a great, both the defensive ends got off the line so well. They got off, they play with the ball was snapped, they're off.
Cortez Harris, a guy that's probably going to be joining our broadcast crew during the basketball season. He is in one of our sections of video broadcast journalism, so definitely got to give him a little bit of a shout out.
All right, let's see what the Stags can do here. I mean, they could just knee it, I guess. Well, not enough time, but they almost
but it looks like they're not going to knee it.
Yeah.
Denzel Garner out there, 3 receivers to the boundary screen, plus 1 split out wide to the top as he is looking up toward the top side. He's got it to his running back coming out of the backfield. I think that was Bud Coombs, and not a whole lot there, maybe 2 yards.
Those are really cool orange cleats.
They are. Yeah, I like those. And now you remind me, I'll be looking for those. That's the easy way to tell if it's Coombs.
If only they made golf shoes like that.
It's pretty much been Coombs and Mizell on everything today as that ball bounces off of his intended receiver's hands. That was Cody Williams. Couldn't haul it in, but I don't think he was going to be able to do anything with it anyway. Probably best that he just let it go.
Yeah, and that was a bad throw, too. That was sort of like a flying fish lost its wings getting to the wide receiver. That you've got to be able to throw somewhat of a spiral.
Yep. So there's a lot of quick scoring for the Stags in the first half. No scoring here in the second quarter so far. Again, we had Christian Tate with a punt return touchdown to open things up about a minute and change into the first half. Elijah Yarbrough returned a fumble for a touchdown about a minute later. And then a 1-yard Denzel Garner rush as Denzel Garner's doing it again, taking up the sideline, and he gets out of bounds. Past the 50-yard line, or right around the 50-yard line at least, for the Stags.
Oh, we've got someone hurt, though, and he doesn't look good either. See the number.
Is that 54?
Yeah, 54.
Yeah, 54 for Friendship Collegiate. That's
Nakai Young.
Nakai Young.
Yeah.
He's a freshman defensive lineman. Hopefully he's okay. He is limping off the sideline on his own power, so that's at least a promising sign. But that's a first down for Denzel. They are going to rule him out of bounds just shy of the 50-yard line at the DeMatha 49. But that stopped the clock. A minute and 11 here in the first half. Garner in the shotgun. Back to pass. Looking off to the sideline. He's got Christian Tate, and he has some room to run along the sideline.
Very good call.
Great block by number 16. That is Alvin Thornton. Thornton, kind of, a wide receiver who is sort of like, he's almost a starter, but because we usually have a tight end out there, he's not technically the starter, but he's going to get a lot of playing time, and he just laid down a really nice block that's only going to earn him more.
Yeah, and that was a great play by Denzel. The patience he showed, he knew he was going to throw that screen, and he just waited.
And good vision by Christian Tate, got the first down, got out of bounds. 57 seconds now on the clock. Sends Thornton in motion. Garner looking, senses pressure, and he's got out. Really nice job by Garner, and he takes it all the way to the end zone. He did not have a lane, and suddenly he did, and he takes it across the goal line. DeMatha Stags touchdown.
He's going to be a great driver. I mean, when he drives a car.
We don't have to be worried about him on the road.
No. There was nothing there.
Wow. And number 43 for Friendship Collegiate, Saquon Boney was just hawking him down, but all of a sudden, Denzel just opened up a gap.
Yeah. It was like he teleported.
Do you remember where that play started? Because I don't. We might have to rewind our live feed to see where that started, because I want to know the yardage on that. But that is now 2 rushing touchdowns in the first half for Denzel Gardner as Peterson puts that PAT through the uprights, and it's 28-0 Stags.
Wow. I mean, that's just absolutely amazing.
Looks like that started at the 37-yard line. So officially a 37-yard rushing touchdown for Denzel Gardner.
I mean, you can't. I'm just speechless.
That was a great play.
Just amazing. Another kickoff for the Stags. Almost 45 seconds.
Oh, and so officially 68 yards on that drive in 1 minute and 1 second. Wow. Fantastic drive for the Stags.
It's like a yard a second. Oh, the Stag kickoff team is certainly getting a lot of good work today.
Oh, they're getting great work out. You know, Mr. O'Connor is going to be able to really assess a lot of film this week. I'm sure he'll get these guys in the film room to actually look at some tape this week. As that squib kick almost ate up number 88, Dontrell Smith, but he manages to recover it.
He was sort of, halfway between should I go, should I stay? And he made the right call there, just following on the ball. Now, there's a couple things that Friendship can do here. They can either do really quick out routes and probably average about 12 yards of play. They would have enough time. They can go out of bounds.
Yep.
They can they can just waste out the clock. They can go for it deep. Or we've seen this sometimes, the fake kneel. You've got to wait a little bit. There's 46 seconds left.
Yeah, why not?
But
why not?
And the false start.
So that's going to back him up.
Yeah.
Doesn't take the fake kneel out of the playbook, though. You can still run that.
Yeah. Oh, no, offsides. My bad there.
Yeah, want to thank Mr. Chris McMains on the stats on that last drive. Again, 68 yards in 1 minute and 1 second for the Stags. So we set up actually a defensive penalty, 1st and 5 for Friendship Collegiate, as Jalen Krosky sends a man in motion, takes the snap, sends it out that way. Good job by Dante West to haul it in, and he's keeping his feet, but the throw just did not set him up in a position to do anything, and he actually is going to lose about 2 yards.
I mean, at that point, you've just got to try as hard as you can and get as many yards as possible. Didn't work out there, but it was just a bad throw. I mean,
yep. Clock continues to run here. The game clock on our screen, we're taking that directly from the feed of the scoreboard in the stadium, which kind of pauses and goes. It skips a lot of numbers. So it's accurate, but sometimes it may be a couple seconds off. And Friendship Collegiate is not going to run another play. They'll take us down to the half. And did Peterson miss the PAT?
I guess. I mean,
I thought he made it.
It looked like it, but
let me. I'm going to go back real quick. And the nice thing is that we have access to instant replay. We still haven't figured out how to put it on the live feed, but I do want to go back and see real quick what happened on that, because I clearly missed something, because the scoreboard still says 27-0 Stags. Let's see. Go back just a little bit further here. Nope. Okay, so he did miss it.
Missed
the PAT.
Well, other than that missed PAT, there's
not a lot to complain about for the Stags
great.
in that first half. Fantastic first half. We'll see if we can get some first half stats for you as we come back. But we're going to take a short break here at the Marvin F. Wilson Stadium at the Prince George's Sports and Learning Complex. Corey Puffett and Stephen McDonald will be back with second half action in about 10 to 15 minutes. And we are back here at the Marvin F. Wilson Stadium at the Prince George's Sports and Learning Complex with second half action about to get underway. Corey Puffett here with Stephen McDonald.
Hello again.
Stephen, great first half. We got some stats from the Stags in that first half. 5 for 10 passing for 49 yards, 166 rushing yards.
Wow.
Of course, a big chunk of that being the 37-yard rushing touchdown by Denzel Gardner there in the last minute of the half. But 166 rushing yards on 18 rush attempts, 6 first downs for the Stags. Really good first half.
Yeah, it's like we're playing football in 1942. I mean, there are so many rushing yards by the Stags today. It's just hard nose, run the ball.
Maybe 1952. I don't know if there
yeah.
would have been 10 passing attempts in 1942.
Yeah, that is true.
But still,
Yeah.
not what we're used to in this decade,
No.
especially when you're used to watching a lot of NFL action like the two of us certainly
Yeah.
are. So to quickly catch you up if you're a little bit late joining us. Scoring in the first half, DeMatha kicked things off, or rather, well, I guess technically they did kick things off, but also, Christian Tate started the scoring off on a punt return touchdown at the 10:46 mark of the first quarter. Elijah Yarborough returned a fumble for a touchdown 45 seconds later at the 10:01 mark. And then with 2:27 in the first quarter, Denzel Gardner took a QB sneak 1 yard across the goal line. It was 21-0 Stags at the end of the first quarter. And then got a little bit quiet, a little bit back and forth, a defensive battle. Both teams exchanged pretty big chunk plays but couldn't get anything sustained going until with 46 seconds left in the first half, Denzel Gardner with an amazing 37-yard scamper to close off a 68-yard drive that took the Stags 61 seconds to complete. The PAT was missed on that last touchdown, and that is why we are here at 27-0 getting ready to start the third quarter.
That 37-yard run like Denzel, in the beginning of the movie Cars, there's that big pile-up. Lightning McQueen just out of nowhere. I mean, he was like Lightning McQueen there. It was absolutely amazing. He
Love
came
the reference.
out of nowhere, yeah.
A+ reference, especially anytime you're referencing Pixar, it's going to be an A+ reference. Sorry, go ahead.
I was just going to say, Friendship Collegiate coming into the second half, they just look bored.
Which is unfortunate because they've had some really good plays. They just haven't been able to keep anything going. And, that's got to be not just disconcerting, but certainly dispiriting.
Yeah.
So, we haven't gotten to see a whole lot of Joshua Jefferson today. Bud Coombs and Tovani Mizell have handled the bulk of the running back duties for DeMatha.
Yeah.
I think Jefferson's only had 1 or 2 carries so far today. He had a pretty good game last week against Benedictine, 8 rushes for 32 yards and 1 of DeMatha's touchdowns. That was a really good game for the Stags. 38-0 road win in Ohio.
Yeah.
Benedictine didn't look very good, but anytime you're going on the road, it can be tough to win that definitively, and DeMatha did just that.
Especially after such a long drive.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So, Denzel Gardner had a nice game, threw a touchdown pass to Christian Tate. Tate's been a little bit quiet today. I think one official catch because there was one on a penalty. But last week he had 6 catches for just over 100 yards and a touchdown plus a punt return touchdown. Yes, that's right. He scored a punt return touchdown last week and then again tonight.
That's 2 in a row.
Yep.
Yeah.
Bud Coombs only carried the ball 4 times last week, but he ran for 74 yards and a touchdown. And then Dante Lovett was the player of the game last week. 6 tackles, a pick 6, and a forced fumble. And he's got an interception today on a terrific play.
That was a great play.
It was a great interception. The receiver, Jeremiah Barnes, had position on him. Really could have come down with it. I thought it was going to be everything Lovett could do just to get a hand in there and knock it away. And somehow he came down with the pick. So we get set for second half action. That's Keon Webb-Starkey kicking it off to DeMatha, and that will go into the end zone. Touchback. The Stags will start at the 20-yard line.
Again, they still just look bored on the kickoff. Number 15 over here for Friendship Collegiate, Bryce Walker. He seemed to be the only one who was excited to, kick things off in the second half, and they've got to at least put something on the board.
A couple of former DeMatha students on Friendship Collegiate's roster. Number 57, Bryce Jenkins, is a sophomore defensive lineman and offensive lineman for the Knights. And number 80, Sylvanus Bickersteth, a junior wide receiver. I'm not sure if he played on the JV team, but he played his freshman year a few years ago.
Yeah, he did play his freshman year.
So he is over there as a junior for the Knights. Haven't got to call either of their names. I actually haven't noticed if either of them have been on the field, but I did see their names when I was looking through the roster the other day. So, shotgun formation for the Stags. Handoff up the middle, and that is Tovani Mizell, and that was 2 spin moves to get out of some tackles.
Fumble at the end.
The ball came out, but it looks like DeMatha recovered it, and it's going to stay with the Stags at the 35-yard line. So a 15-yard carry for Tovani Mizell, and the Stags move the chains.
He's got those great orange cleats too. Those are amazing.
Yeah, thank you to head coach Mike Hunter of Friendship Collegiate, by the way, for getting back to me so quickly early in the week with rosters. So we were able to have these rosters and kind of take a look through the players before we got here to the stadium today. Gardner hands it off. Mizell again, great vision and a nice juke move there to step back inside, and then the stiff arm just to keep the defender from taking him down too early. And that's another 15 yards up to about the 50-yard line.
He's going to be great at the University of Georgia.
Oh, absolutely.
This is like.
Has he officially?
I think so. I think he's at least verbally.
Okay.
But it would take something.
Wherever he winds up for college, he's going to be pretty good. So mark that a 16-yard carry as he actually takes it into Knights territory at the 49-yard line. Gardner, snap, gives it off. Again, Tovani Mizell with room to run. And he's going to get down to about the 40-yard line. So this time he will not pick up a first down, but he's going to be darn close.
You know, at this point, Friendship Collegiate, they're sort of damned if they do and damned if they don't. If they have the ball, the Stags will have scored on defense. If they don't have the ball, the Stags have scored on offense. And if they're kicking the ball away, the Stags have scored on special teams.
And this is the best that the running game has looked so far for the Stags. I mean, that's 3 straight chunk plays for the Stags offense. I mean, what do you do here? Give it to him again?
I mean, yeah. I mean, why stop an avalanche?
Let's say they are going to stop the avalanche here as he puts it
awful
downfield. And, off of Christian Tate's shoulder pad, it looked like.
But that wasn't his fault.
The pass was kind of hanging up there.
Yeah,
he had to adjust big time. You know, not just trying to make an adjustment as he went up for it, but also he had to make an adjustment to the speed at which he was approaching the spot the ball was going to.
Yeah, it's certainly not the Mona Lisa of passes, but I mean,
few passes are. I mean, we saw a couple of them last night.
Yes, we did.
You know, anytime you have Justin Herbert and Patrick Mahomes in the game, you're bound to get a few of them. I know you saw that dart at the end of the game for Justin Herbert. That was amazing, especially after the previous play.
I know.
He was in so much pain he couldn't tell that he was only a yard away from the first down. But then he comes back and throws that. It was amazing. You know, Tovani Mizell with room to run, again having to be spun down. He gets past the 25-yard line. They're probably going to mark this at about the 22, maybe the 23.
You know, he's like that snowball you push from the top of the mountain, and it just keeps rolling and rolling and getting bigger. I mean, he's just got people hanging on his back. It's like they're going for a train ride. It's amazing how much of a great runner. He's a power runner, and he can run in space and break and juke out anyone.
Gardner gives away again. And again, Mizell, I mean, he's taken everything on this drive. He's doing a fantastic job as a workhorse running back here. He takes this one up to just about the 15-yard line.
You do have to give credit, though, to Micah Davis on Friendship Collegiate. That was a good tackle.
It was. It absolutely was. But the Stags are eating alive this Knights defense on this drive. It's going to be 2nd down and 4 now from the 16. In fact, the scoreboard is officially calling it 2nd and 3. Somewhere in that area, Gardner takes the snap, gives it up, and this time it's Bud Coombs who has come in.
Oh, no, a fumble.
And the ball came out. Was he down or was he still up is going to be the question.
They did not rule him down.
The officials are talking, and it looked like one of them may have – it looked like the official on the far side may have called him down. Yeah, so they do mark him down at the 5-yard line. It's a first down for the Stags, 1st and goal. You know, Coombs has had some fumble issues this season. He fumbled the ball in that opening game against Cardinal Gibbons. And then when we covered that game against Rock Creek Christian, he had a fumble as well.
Yeah.
And this time it's Tovani Mizell who comes in and takes the ball 5 yards for the DeMatha touchdown.
I mean, what else is there to say? Just,
I'm having a hard time thinking of things to say at this point, Steven.
It's, everything is combined into one. It's like the perfect sandwich. They've got the right bread, they've got the right meat, and they've got the right, like lettuce and stuff in the sandwich for the Stags. It's just amazing. A 33-0 lead right now, about to be 34.
Hopefully.
Yeah.
Jackson Pearson did miss the last PAT he attempted. This one is up, and he puts
good.
this one through the upright.
Easy.
So that will make it 34-0 Stags.
Just amazing.
Of course, that missed PAT comes into play here because we would have a running clock. Yeah, we would have a running clock here if it was 35-0. Instead, it's 34-0, which means we're going to have to wait a little bit longer as the Seton cheerleaders are doing their push-ups. Yeah. After every touchdown that the Stags score, they've got to do as many push-ups as there are points on the board currently, which means that they've done whatever 7 plus 14 plus 21 plus 27 plus 34 is.
Oh, my. Their arms are going to be tired tomorrow morning.
So 8 minutes, 32 seconds on the clock as Tovani Mizell takes the Stags across the goal line to make it 34-0. And this game, was already kind of out of hands.
Yeah.
But now when you're talking about it's the second half, and the Stags that was a fantastic drive to open up the half. And they used a pretty good chunk of the clock.
Yeah. They used 3 minutes and,
and 30 seconds.
Yeah.
Honestly, it's almost impressive that they only took that much because everything was a run play.
Yeah.
So the clock is winding between plays, but at the same time, they were picking up big chunks of yardage.
Yeah.
So for as few plays as they ran on that drive to get the touchdown, that was a really nice job to take away some clock. As that kick is away, fielded at about the 5-yard line.
A good kick.
A really good kick. And looking for some space. That was a pretty nifty run back.
Yeah.
It's going to get it past the 25-yard line for the Knights.
That was how they were able to get that far when it looked like, maybe at the 20-yard line at best.
No, Quran Abdul-Rahim has done a really nice job today in the return game. The offense just has not been able to capitalize on any of his returns. So the Knights will start at the 28-yard line.
Well, the good news is no fumbles so far. Well, in the past, this half, in the beginning of this half and the end of the last half for Friendship Collegiate. Good throw out in the flat, dropped. A bit low,
he was targeting number 8, Keon Webb-Starkey, on that one. We've called his name quite a bit tonight. Number 8 has been a focal point of their passing game.
Quite low throw there, but at this point, you've just got to put all of your eggs in one basket. I mean, don't go for those, cheese samples at the grocery store. Try and take the whole block.
Starkey gives it up. Duggar, very small hole.
Yeah.
And he maybe picked up 4.
I mean, again, you just can't. I mean, I just don't get that last play call. You're in such a deep hole that at this point, running those plays are just digging it deeper.
As a DeMatha fan and faculty member and alum, I'm really happy right now.
Oh, yeah, as you should be.
As a football play-by-play caller, I'm a little bit disappointed because Friendship could be a lot closer in this game than they are based on their play calling from earlier in the game. But the execution was not great. Whoa, we got 2 flags, including one way after Krosky crossed out of bounds.
It's probably
unsportsmanlike. So some serious extracurricular activity on that sideline. And we're going to have to see if DeMatha maybe just gave up a fresh set of downs for free. It certainly looks like the official is marking off some significant yards there.
Yeah, well, so much for stealing the block of cheese. They were just giving it.
But, I was saying their execution had been their downfall, but at this point in the game, we're starting to see that not only is the execution a little bit shoddy, but the play calling has significantly decreased in effectiveness and
unnecessary roughness there.
Yeah. So that's going to set up the Knights with a fresh set of downs at their own 47-yard line. We'll see if maybe that energizes the Friendship Collegiate sideline just a little bit because, as you were saying coming out of the half, they looked a little bit sluggish. They looked a little bit bored. The defense, again, it was some really great blocking up front by the DeMatha offensive line on that last drive, and Tovani Mizell did a great job of taking advantage of every opening that there was as well as some openings that there weren't.
Yeah.
But it also looked like the defense might have been a little bit sluggish, and that may have helped make that drive as easy as it was. Yeah. So far, a little bit lazy with the passes in this first drive. The blocking hasn't been there. Even on that last play, as Jalen Krosky is rolling out, nobody is out there to block for him, and DeMatha is able to pursue him. Just a really big mistake along the sideline cost DeMatha that first down.
It's like they have almost slugs as shoes now. You've got to pour some salt on them and let your shoes come back. First and 10 now from the 40, it's like 46 or 47.
Yep, coming out of that timeout for Friendship Collegiate Academy. Jalen Krosky, 3 wide receiver split to the bottom of your screen, and he's looking that direction, and that was a terrible throw.
Yeah.
Was it tipped?
I think it was tipped.
I see.
But, again, that play wouldn't have gone anywhere anyways.
No.
He was running an out route, and he was right at the sideline.
And right along the sticks, too.
Yeah.
So I don't know what they were looking for there, but I think that was Dante Jackson, number 20, the Stag, who got into the backfield. It didn't look like anybody was in position to make a tip, so if he did, that was really impressive. In fact, it sure was. Yeah, we can see it on our replay just now on our screen. That's the one nice thing about having the laptop with the stream going is that it's on a slight delay from what is actually live. So we can look back right after the play as that pass was way up high.
Yeah.
That's a hospital pass for Keon Webb-Starkey to come down with.
That was the wrong zip code.
And, yeah, I mean, he's definitely a little gimpy getting up and walking off. We'll see if he stays on the sideline as that was a dangerous ball to throw by Jalen Krosky.
You can't put your receivers in a position like that.
No, especially when, the payoff is so little. He picked up no yards. It's still 3rd and 10.
Yeah. I mean, at this point, it's like you've wasted so much time. Oh, someone's down.
Yeah, I think that's him. Yeah. I think that's Keon Webb-Starkey.
Yeah.
He couldn't make it all the way off the field. Yeah, the way that he was hit, he probably came down a little bit awkwardly on his leg.
Yeah.
And that's what they're checking is it looks like his right leg. Yeah. So hopefully Webb-Starkey is okay.
He's grimacing in pain.
He is.
From my trusty binoculars here.
He is up and hopping off the field. He's going to get a little bit of help from one of his coaches. And we'll see what the Knights decide to go with here. Is now it's actually not 3rd and 10. It's 3rd and about 12 yards to go, as he actually wound up losing yardage on that play.
I mean, at this point, going back to what I was about to say earlier, Friendship Collegiate has wasted so much time. They're not going to win the game. They might as well just dig deep into their playbook and test out trick plays for future games.
Low snap. Cortez Harris comes through the line, almost got to the quarterback and forced a bad throw as that was way over DeAndre Wooden's head down the middle of the field. Good defense down the field as well, because honestly the ball was not so inaccurate that he couldn't have come down with it if there was no defense. So really nice job. In fact, I think that was, again, Dante Jackson this time dropping back into coverage.
Yeah, and what was really good is he could feel the breaths of whoever was catching for Friendship Collegiate, but he didn't get pass interference. He was just far enough away that just the right amount of seperation.
Yeah, you just put your hand up in front of his face, and at the NFL level, that might not be enough. At the high school level, more often than not, it is.
Yeah.
So punt, That's probably the best snap we've seen on a punt today, and maybe the worst actual punt that we've seen for Friendship Collegiate, as it does take a bounce in their favor and rolls inside the 30-yard line, but still the Stags will start with pretty good field position at their own 29.
Again, you still, I mean, at this point, go for it. What are you going to lose? I mean, at the end of this drive, it's probably going to be 41-0 anyways.
Well, at that point, we'll have a running clock. That'd be nice. That's what I'm rooting for right now. We got 6 minutes and 54 seconds to go in the third quarter of play.
It's almost like Chinese water torture.
Yeah, this game is running a lot long. I mean, we're already almost at, we're 17 minutes away from the 2-hour mark. 2 weeks ago, the game lasted 2 hours, and we never had a running clock in that game.
Yeah.
The nice thing for me is I get to sleep in tomorrow because we have an evening meet for the cross-country team. So, talk a little about the cross-country team a little bit later. I got to, shout out my athletes because that is the sport that I coach here at DeMatha, as that run went nowhere for the Stags, right back to the line of scrimmage, and that was all.
I wish I could sleep in tomorrow, but I've got to get my driver's license. So,
congratulations to you.
Hopefully.
We know we can trust Denzel on the road. Can we trust you?
I don't know about that. But
speaking of Denzel Gardner in the shotgun, 2nd and 10 for the Stags. Looking to pass. He's got a man open downfield, and it is complete. I believe that was Christian Tate. Let's see if it was.
12.
Oh, number 12, Cody Williams. Cody Williams is having a big game for the Stags today.
From watching Denzel this year and watching Denzel last year, that's got to be in his top 3 throws that he's ever made.
Yeah, no, I mean, and honestly, the bigger thing there is great vision.
Yeah.
Because from where you are in the pocket, it's not glaringly obvious that your receiver has a step on the defender. And the fact that he saw that and delivered, I mean, it forced Cody to kind of turn around a little bit and pirouette to catch the ball. But still, he put it over the defense in a place that Cody could get to it, as that is a really nice move by number 35. We called his, I believe.
Brian Bass.
Or wait, was that 35? Because Brian Bass usually doesn't play offense. But I think that was 35.
I don't know, but.
I'm trying to see who it was. And
Jerome Bettis, whoever that was, Jerome Bettis might be the bus. That was the freight train.
That was a great play.
Yeah.
No, that was Kareem Robinson, 25. So Kareem Robinson, we did call his name a little bit earlier on another pass play. That one didn't go anywhere. This time, picks up a first down for the Stags on a really nice run after the catch. I think this is Bud Coombs.
Yeah, no gain there.
Again, some of these numbers are a little bit difficult to read from our vantage points, and I don't have my binoculars, unlike Steven over here. But maybe a decent run there. I think he might have picked up a couple yards.
Yeah, I think he got about 3.
It looks like they're just going to mark it the line of scrimmage, though. I thought that they got a little bit of a push on the offensive line, but apparently not. 2nd down and 10 for the Stags.
They should give him at least a yard for those cool cleats.
I keep forgetting to look for the cleats. I'm like, I think it's Coombs. It should be obvious. He's got the cleats. This one is to Christian Tate. Makes a move, and the ball's out.
Well, there's about
I think the ball was out.
Yeah,
the defense definitely reacted like the ball was out.
There was someone, I mean, it's funny, just watching the Friendship Collegiate bench, you normally expect, a mass gathering of nice job, turnover. There was one guy who was jumping up and down, and the rest were ready for an evening nap.
Well, it is, in fact, a fumble by Christian Tate, and Friendship Collegiate will take over possession at their own, call it 14-yard line. So DeMatha cross-country team coming off a pretty successful weekend last week at the Eagle Invitational at Centennial High School. Team placed 4th. They were the top WCAC team at the meet. Jaden Keels has the 4th ever DeMatha time for the 4th fastest ever DeMatha time for the 3 mile. By the way, he also has the 3rd fastest time.
Wow.
So he's got 2 of the top 4 fastest times in DeMatha history for the 3 mile run, which is fantastic. Tomorrow night, we're down at Lake Braddock Secondary School Burke, Virginia. It is an under-the-lights relay race for our varsity guys.
Wow.
Yeah, so our top 10 will be split between 2 teams of 5. Each will run a 2,500-meter course once. Usually you can expect for the times to be somewhere in the 42 to 45-minute range on that. But it's going to be a lot of fun. We went there in 2019. It's the last time we could make it. But it has a Friday night lights feel, but for cross-country, which is pretty cool because you don't get that a lot with cross-country.
No.
A couple of short gains here on first and second down for Friendship Collegiate, as it'll be 3rd down and 6 for the Knights.
That first down play was actually a pretty good play design.
It was. Didn't get a whole lot.
Yeah, but there was a hole that he could have ran through, and he could have gotten at least 6 or 7 yards.
Well, they'll need one of those on this play because it is 3rd and a long 5. Low snap.
Oh, he's dead.
Krosky rolling out to his right, has a man on the sideline. Does he come down in bounds? It looked like he did, but again, hard to tell from my vantage point. The referee signals yes.
That was a great. I thought he was dead from the start there, Jalen Krosky, but he rolls out to his right, makes a great throw.
So we can see some of the comments that may get hidden. Just so people are aware, this is a DeMatha broadcast run by DeMatha students.
Yeah.
It is DM Stags TV. It's kind of meant to be biased. This is not a national televised game. So, you can be mad all you want, but this is our home game, and we own the rights. If you do want to catch a game that maybe won't be as biased, you can watch next week because Flow Sports has the rights to next week's game against Life Christian Academy. And that pass batted down at the line of scrimmage and goes nowhere, and that will be 2nd down and 10 now.
Got about 2 minutes and 26 seconds left in this 3rd quarter.
So I do feel the need to apologize for the fact that next week's game, as well as the November 4th game against Good Counsel, will both be on Flow Sports because I know that our fans did not have a very good experience with Flow Sports in the Cardinal Gibbons game. The feed cut out midway through the 3rd quarter and didn't come back until midway through the 4th quarter. I was watching the game. I was trying to stat it out on my phone, and when it goes out, I'm like, well, I guess I'm not going to finish this game. That run goes nowhere. Loses about a yard. It'll be 3rd down, and we'll call it 12 for the Knights.
I don't understand these run plays. Do something. Dig deep in the playbook. Find something. I mean, if you want to at least think you have minuscule hope at winning the game, do something exciting that'll make your players excited.
Well, this is their chance to do that here. 3rd down and 12. Can they pick this up? Krosky passes. He's got a man open right at the sticks. And that is number 8, Keon Webb-Starkey. So he is back in the game, healthy, and looks really good on that play.
Good route running there. It looked like zone cover. There was no one in sight. He had a great route for the 1st down. And good waiting by Jalen Krosky.
And yes, we are a Catholic high school, so we do have comment moderation on. Some things just cannot come through the censors. Krosky back, hands off. And, somebody got a hold of Duggar's jersey. It
was close.
So horse collar, you have to grab inside of the collar, and they did recently change that rule so that it doesn't matter whether it's the front or the back, but you can absolutely grab at the numbers.
True, yeah.
So just a really nice job to grab on and pull him down after only a 1-yard gain. Krosky gives it off, and
that was a great fake.
It was a really good fake, but it didn't go much of anywhere as the defense was still there to stop him for only a 1-yard gain. It'll be 3rd down and 8 now.
I guess that is the silver lining.
Probably for the best there because Justin Moore was all over Ray Duggar Jr.
That was.
3rd down and long. Looking over the middle, and it looks like that may have been picked off. And it was picked off. Got to try and see who that was as he comes off the field. That is number is that 20?
20. It appears to be.
Is that 20 or 30?
I think it's Dante Jackson.
Okay, might have been. I couldn't tell if it was 20 or 30, so it was either Dante Johnson or it was Terry Dorsey. I know that Terry Dorsey does sometimes come in a little bit at the safety position, so we'll see if we can see on this play.
30.
So it was 30.
Yeah,
So congratulations to Terry Dorsey on that interception. Really nice pass going to the ground.
Let's see, do we have a... Timeout.
So we'll have a timeout here by Friendship Collegiate Academy following the interception. DeMatha leads 34-0. No, it's all good. It's all good.
Yeah.
You know, we're just glad that people are watching and enjoying the game, and you know, it gives us a little something funny to latch on to.
Oh my.
You know, that is a good question, though. When, you know, at this point, 34-0, you know, does Denzel still need to be out there? But again, I mean, he's a sophomore quarterback.
Yeah.
You kind of want him to get reps. I understand the idea of, you know, you also don't want to risk injury because he's your quarterback, and it's still a long season to go.
But I mean, what Friendship? They're not doing anything. I mean,
they haven't really gotten a lot of pressure on him, so he hasn't been at risk of getting hit so far tonight. So no, I mean that's a good point, Stephen.
I mean, the one thing I would do instead of playing Tovani or Bud Coombs, play a freshman or sophomore running back.
Yeah, I mean let Jefferson get some reps.
Yeah.
We haven't seen a whole lot of him since the first half. You know, Elijah Lee, number 36, he's another guy that you can bring in there. So I'm sure that we will see some of them as we get into the fourth quarter. But, you know, maybe they're going to give them this one last drive to try and get us to a running clock as we come to the end of the third quarter. The score is 34-0 Stags. Yesterday evening was virtual back-to-school night at DeMatha. So parents of sophomore – well, actually, I guess including freshmen. So freshmen, sophomore, junior, and senior parents, teachers have made videos and posted them for all the parents to be able to go on and see and learn a little bit about their courses that their sons are in. People are being very loud close to the door behind us.
I think that's slam count number 12.
Yeah, a couple weeks ago we had an in-person back-to-school night just for freshman parents. We've been doing that ever since the pandemic, and it might be something that's here to stay. And quite honestly, I kind of like it. I think that a lot of the parents also like it. And we typically didn't get a whole lot of sophomore, junior, and senior parents coming onto campus anyway.
Yeah.
Certainly a few would come every year, and we always enjoyed seeing them and talking to them. But our classrooms would often be pretty empty for those sophomore, junior, senior classes. Whereas, you know, the freshman teachers, you know, the parents always want to come in, kind of get a chance to see the campus, get a sense of what their brand new high schooler is going to experience. So we've had both of those. If you were not aware, you know, DeMatha sent out communication and everything, but if you were not aware that we had virtual back-to-school night last night, be sure to check for those videos. You should have gotten an email from the DeMatha administration with those links, as that run is going to take DeMatha just past the line to gain for a first down.
No.
And I think that was number 8, Brendan Wyatt.
Wyatt, yeah.
I think that's his first carry of the game. So just getting him a couple reps, I guess, here late in the game. Make sure that they keep him loose because they're going to need him as we go further into the season. Brendan Wyatt was a fantastic player for DeMatha last year. He has not been utilized as much this season, but hopefully he'll start getting a little more run as we continue on. He was actually just short of the first down, and Bud Coombs comes in to clean it up and move the chains for the Stags.
You know, I've got to be honest. At this point, they should just – I think Coach McGregor, at least it would be entertaining for us to see, put it in the I formation, give it to Kareem Robinson.
Yeah.
I mean, we saw what he could do.
Yeah, he made some men miss on that last catch he had.
I mean, and also he was a battering ram in the process.
Yep. So John Brabazon is a senior on quarterback on DeMatha's roster. We have not seen him come into the game yet. We'll see if we do catch a glimpse of him at some point. But still Denzel Garner doing the handoff duties at this point. Brendan Wyatt back on and takes that for about 2. he'll check back off with Bud Coombs, and looks like they're just going to go back and forth play after play.
Yeah.
Keep some fresh legs on the field as DeMatha continues to run the clock. Going to try and makeshift their own running clock here.
Yeah. Oh, interesting. Audible here.
Couple receivers split off to the top of the screen, but it's another handoff. Bud Coombs puts his head down, makes contact, and pushes the pile forward for about 4 yards. Call it 3rd down and 4 for the Stags.
Well, the makeshift running clock is working well so far.
It is.
Yeah.
Of course, the clock does stop briefly for first downs,
yeah.
but, better than nothing.
Yeah.
The big place where the running clock helps is between possessions, during timeouts,
Yeah.
after scores. You can get an extra minute or two between touchdown and kickoff.
Oh, that was a
That's
great
a nice
run.
run. Brendan Wyatt turning on the Jets and
Ooh.
running down the sideline
tackle
inside
there.
the 30-yard line down near the 25. I think they're going to call him officially down at the 27.
You can give as much credit to the run as you want, but you've got to give credit to the right side of that line.
Oh, absolutely.
That line, there was a perfect hole. It's like the Red Sea was parted there. I guess the Green Sea of AstroTurf was parted. And perfect lane for Brendan Wyatt to go in.
Yeah, right side of that line. I couldn't see who was in at right guard, but it looks like it is still Nathaniel Hampton, our starting right guard, and then Michael Crounce, number 77, at the right tackle position. A really nice job there. Third quarter stats for the Stags. 56 rushing yards, if I'm reading that correctly, and 56 passing yards and 80 rushing yards for the Stags. 6 first downs, of course, that 1 turnover on the Christian Tate fumble. But 34-0. DeMatha once again driving down the field, hoping to avoid another turnover so we can finally get that running clock, even though we're getting to the part of the game where it doesn't really make that much of a difference. Would have been great to have in the third quarter.
Yeah.
So if 2nd down and 5 for the Stags coming up. Brendan Wyatt, the running back on the field for the Stags. Lining up under center is Denzel Gardner. Sends a man in motion, and there is a flag on the field. They're going to blow that play dead, and they're calling it false start on DeMatha. So right there, you send a man in motion, but if somebody else then moves, that's going to be a false start. You can't have 2 men in motion at the same time. And it looks like that may have been what happened there for the Stags.
I was just happy to see it looked like Kareem Robinson was in there.
No, Kareem Robinson has been in on every play. He's still down there sort of, he's in a traditional fullback position right now. Earlier on in the game when DeMatha was mostly lining up in a shotgun or pistol formation, he was kind of like that split back as that a handoff that was not clean at all.
No.
Ball hit the turf, and it looks like Brendan Wyatt fell on it, but it's all he could do to retain possession for DeMatha. That's going to be a pretty big loss for the Stags, and that'll make it 3rd down and call it 13, maybe 14 yards. We'll see where they officially spot it.
But going back to Kareem Robinson, even though it's just one play, that was just it's just speechless watching him.
Yeah, no, that was terrific athleticism. Gardner back into the shotgun. He's going to roll and throwing across his body to Kareem Robinson. But the play went nowhere. Right back to the 30-yard line where the play started.
Yeah.
And it's going to be 4th and long, so we might just get a chance to see Jackson Peterson's leg. Is he going to come out, or is DeMatha going to go for it? It looks like DeMatha's going to go for it. A little bit too long for Jackson Peterson, it sounds like.
And, you might as well.
Yeah, from the 29-yard line, this would be a 46-yard kick. That's still pretty long for a high schooler.
Yeah. And also, what is there to lose?
It's 34-0.
Yeah.
You may as well try and go for the running clock. If you don't get it, no harm, no foul. Gardner taken down.
That was a great move there.
Number 2 for Friendship Collegiate, that is Dylan Stewart, the outside linebacker / defensive end. We'll just call him an edge rusher for the Knights. with a really nice shoestring tackle as Denzel Gardner was trying to escape the pocket but couldn't. Some stats for Friendship Collegiate in that third quarter. 33 passing yards on well, it says 3 completions on 2 attempts.
Yeah.
Maybe that was supposed to be 2 incompletions and 3 completions. 21 rushing yards on 6 attempts and 2 turnovers for their offense.
Along with 3 interceptions. I'm not sure. Interesting math there.
I'm assuming that our statistician just misread that line and put the incompletions rather than attempts on that line. That ball a little bit too low for its intended receiver. Fell to the turf, and it's going to be 2nd down and 10.
You know, that was a drop snap, too. It should have been a 5-yard loss, so it's quite impressive getting that for an incomplete pass and no gain.
So some guys that we have not really gotten a chance, the one guy that we just did call out, number 2 for Friendship Collegiate, Dylan Stewart. He was a guy that their head coach highlighted this week.
Yeah.
He apparently has at least 30 offers, scholarship offers for college.
Does.
So, which, I mean, based on his play so far today, again, we haven't gotten to call his name a whole lot because the Stags have been moving the ball on the whole team.
Yeah, but he
and they most have been running away from him.
Yeah.
But he's a terrific player. Some other guys on their team that we have not gotten a chance to call out. Number 52, Deandre Cook, has 20 college scholarship offers. And then number 55, offensive lineman Malik Van, has 5 scholarship offers. So congratulations to those guys.
You know, all those guys deserve every one of them. They probably even deserve more. From what we've seen tonight, they've been the stars of the show for Friendship Collegiate.
So number 27, Jacob Wallace, the wide-out corner on the ball of the screen for the Stags, as rolling out is Jalen Krosky, and he has nowhere to go.
Yeah.
Taken down for a loss of, we'll call it 5 yards. That's going to make it 4th down and very long, and Friendship Collegiate not going to bother going for this one. No point at this time.
I mean, especially, the morale is so low for Friendship Collegiate, which is sad. I mean, you're just seeing them sort of hobble off the field. I mean, it's
again, there was a lot to like about what they were doing, especially early in the game. They're going to be able to go into the film room this week, and if they stop the game, at around the even if you just stop it before that 3rd touchdown for the Stags, you're going to look at that as like, we were down 14-0, but we could very well be in this game.
Yeah.
And you're going to come away feeling pretty positive. The problem is when you then look at everything else, including this return by Christian Tate, he's going to take it down the sideline, and he's got his 2nd punt return touchdown of the game.
Well, I think he's made his case for player of the day.
He made a case last week, and he still didn't get it. We'll see what happens here today. Somebody might go and say Elijah Yarborough still gets it for that fumble return touchdown. But Christian Tate has had a day.
Yeah.
Hasn't been as involved in the passing game, but now 2 punt return touchdowns for the Stags. Plays like that have come since DeMatha took that 21-0 lead have just kind of taken all the air out of everything that Friendship Collegiate has tried to do.
And it looks like in the replay that there's a flag.
Yeah, there is a flag on the field, so that play may not stand. And in fact, they're bringing the ball way back here, so
some sort of blocking.
Of course, they did that earlier on us.
Yes, that is
true. They
true.
pulled a switcheroo on us earlier, brought the ball all the way back, and it turned out that it was still a touchdown on that Elijah Yarborough scoop and score.
Yeah, these refs must be great at playing poker.
This time it looks like they are bringing this back. It is a penalty on the Stags. Holding is the call, so we'll have to wipe that punt return touchdown off the board for Christian Tate.
Well, he's
too bad. We had it.
I know.
We had the running clock, Steven.
Know. Oh, well, 4 minutes and 24 seconds left of agony. I think he's still player of the day.
It becomes a little bit harder, because those stats aren't in the book anymore. It happened. We all saw it happen, but the stats no longer exist. And there have been some other really good players today. We've seen, We saw a great interception earlier by Dante Lovett.
That is true. Yeah. He's
you
been
know,
great all around on defense today.
Yeah, and then number 30, Terry Dorsey with a pick. Dante Jackson has been all over the field, making his presence felt both in the offensive backfield and in the secondary. So a lot of good players for the Stags today as we get a nice run there by, I believe, it's not Bud Coombs because there's no orange shoes.
Yeah.
I think that may have been Jefferson,
yeah.
number 26.
Joshua Jefferson.
Yep. So Joshua Jefferson with that carry took it 8 yards. 2nd down and 2 coming up for the Stags as we come down to 4 minutes remaining in the game.
And it looks like there's another Stag that has orange cleats. Trying to see him.
Oh, great. Now
wide
we're going to get all confused.
Yeah.
Unless that's Bud Coombs.
That is Bud Coombs.
No, it's not. It's 88.
Oh, it's 88. Okay.
Well, it looked like a 22 at first. Of course, we don't actually have an 88 on our roster, so now I'm not sure who that is. In any case, Joshua Jefferson gets about half of what he needed, so a yard. Make it 3rd and 1. And we do have a new quarterback in for the Stags.
Is that JJ?
I believe it is. It's John Brabazon.
Yeah.
As Coombs, or is that still Jefferson?
Yeah.
Jefferson takes it across for the 1st down.
At this point,
just run the ball. You don't need to. I mean, we're 3 minutes away. Just run the ball. Keep the clock rolling.
I mean, I can't disagree with JJ with Brabazon being in the game, but also, I mean, it's still good for Denzel to be in the game as a sophomore. I mean, if you're going to play him the whole game, play him the whole game.
Let Brabazon hand it off again to Jefferson. Not a whole lot there.
I don't think that was Jefferson. There was orange somewhere.
Oh, okay. So that time it was Coombs.
Yeah.
Bud Coombs has had a pretty big game for the Stags.
He's had a great game.
Yeah. Again, the biggest plays of the game, the punt return touchdown by Christian Tate, a minute 15 seconds into the game. The scoop and score by Elijah Yarborough from right around this field position a minute later. And then a 37-yard rushing touchdown by Denzel Gardner late in the first half, inside of the last minute. Those were the big plays of the day. Gardner also had a 1-yard rushing touchdown, and Tovani Mizell in the 3rd quarter had a 3-yard rushing touchdown. Some really good things to look at for the Stags in the film room this week, as DeMatha looks to be taking a 34-0 win into next week's game against Life Christian Academy. A little bit of regression, Stephen. It was 38-0 last week. So
that's okay. I think this is fine.
I think the Seton cheerleaders are happy that DeMatha did not score again.
Oh, yeah.
It's a lot. That's an additional 40 push-ups. No, thank you.
Oh, but that's a
nice run.
And
this was number 36, Elijah Lee, getting his first carry of the day. Really nice run down the sideline. Takes us down inside of a minute 20 to go in the final quarter of play.
Oh, the tension is palpable. The end of the game is almost here.
Well, I mean, this is what happens in high school. You got these backup guys, so you let them play.
Yeah.
There's no reason to have them go in just to kneel the ball down. Let them play. Let them get some reps. Handoff.
That was a good move.
That's
inside.
Jefferson.
Yeah.
There wasn't a whole lot of running room, but he made the most of what was there. Picked up 3 yards.
He's making something out of nothing. That's very good.
So we'll probably get 1 play, maybe 2, but we are inside of 40 seconds, so this figures to be the last play of the day for the Stags. And they are in victory formation. So go ahead and kneel it. Take us to the end of the game. John Brabazon kneels, and that is going to do it for us here at the PG Sports and Learning Complex. DeMatha improves to 3-1 on the season with a 34-0 win over the Friendship Collegiate Academy Knights. What are your takeaways from this game, Stephen?
That was a great game. Well, it was a great game for the Stags. Not exactly a great game for us to watch, but still, the Stags should be very happy about what they did. But also, Friendship Collegiate, they have some bits and pieces in there that were really good, and their film study should be great this week. They've got a great playbook, too. When they can execute their playbook, even if it's only 75% of the time, they'll be a great team.
Absolutely. So we are not going to be broadcasting the game next week. Flow Sports has the rights to next week's game against Life Christian Academy, so you'll be able to catch next Friday's action on Flow Sports. Our next coverage will be on October 14th when DeMatha takes on WCAC rival Bishop McNamara. You'll be able to catch that right here on the DM Stags TV YouTube channel from PG Sports Learning Complex. For Stephen McDonald and for all of our guys in the video broadcast journalism class who came out and helped us tonight, I want to give them a quick shout out. Stephen McDonald, my color commentator. Deshaun Williams was our producer. William Wallace ran the switchboard. Liam Donnelly and sorry if I'm forgetting his name. William Bradley. Thank you, Stephen. Yes. William Bradley were our camera operators, and then Ryan Trindade and Isaiah Brooks doing our stat keeping for tonight. Appreciate all of their help in making this a fantastic production. I think one of our best ever, in fact.
I agree.
So we're going to go ahead and say so long to everybody. Thank you so much for tuning in, and we'll see you guys in a few weeks with our next action of DeMatha football on DM Stags TV.